thing with patience is, in some ways, it's a much easier one to describe than the others. You know, it doesn't have the same sort of nuances that peace and joy had. Patience is pretty simply being able to tolerate problems and suffering and delay when it comes to finally dealing with a problem. We see God showing this patience all the time. We know that Judgment Day is coming and Jesus will come again to judge the world, but God is holding off on that day to give everyone time to repent. He's being patient with the entirety of humanity so that as many people can be saved as might come to know him. But how do we ourselves show that kind of patience? Joy is pretty straightforward. Look for the good things and celebrate them. Similarly, peace, being willing to forgive people. But patience is explicitly being able to put up with situations that aren't ideal. A lot of it is really managing how you feel when people constantly annoy you by asking for cereal for an hour when it's 8 p.m. and they should be in bed. The best way I find in practicing patience is remembering that God is able to be patient with us because he wants us to succeed. If he didn't want us to succeed, he wouldn't have sent Jesus. Understanding that God is on our side can really help us in how we relate to others. We can show patience to people because we know that we are just as flawed as they are. We have our problems that we're working through, and so are they. And being able to say, I want you to succeed, and that's why I'm here with you talking about things that probably need to be worked on. You're coming from a spot of empathy and from a spot of wanting them to succeed in the same way Jesus comes to us from a spot of empathy and wanting us to succeed. People aren't obstacles, and seeing them as obstacles makes it easier to be angry with them, easier to be annoyed with them, and harder to show them patience. Whereas if we see people as people that need support just as much as we do, people who are just as flawed as us, it's easier to be willing to forgive. It's easier to stay on their side and keep supporting them even after things keep going wrong. And that's the sort of support and love and patience that God shows us.